Oh my, the abs on that one.
Dang, that is unbelievable.
Where's Justin? Justin?
And I left some business, I believe.
Dude, I just lost 5 pounds.
All right. Way to go.
There you go. BLT. You wash your hands, man.
Yeah.
Look at the abs on the stick. I was just...
Hey, this guy, look. We are PFT, and you're watching
WGS-TV on YouTube.
only.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on youtube.com/WrestleGamer and ZenFixTV. I'm Double B and Billy Rouge, and with WrestleMania 29 coming up, I've decided I want to start a series of retro WrestleMania reviews to try to get everybody in the mood for WrestleMania 29 coming up. So I'm going to start this series out with WrestleMania 20, which took place on Sunday, March 14th, 2004. So, opening match on WrestleMania 20 was the United States Championship match, as the champion, the Big Show, was defending against John Cena. This was right around the area of the time when John Cena first turned face. It was around that peak, that time, and one of the big feuds that he was having was with the Big Show, which ultimately turned him face. And the finish of the match came with John Cena behind the referee's back. Yeah, he was face at the time. Decides to pick up a pair of brass knucks, hits Big Show in the face, and then hits the attitude adjustment, which was affectionately back then called the FU. And John Cena becomes the United States champion, and we all remember what happens after that. We get the United States title turned into a spinner belt. Next up, we had I'm going to give an overall score. I'm going to talk about the pay-per-view, and then I'm going to give an overall score. Next up, for Raw, we had a Fatal 4-Way match for the World Tag Team Championship, which saw RVD and Booker T, who are the champions, believe it or not, taking on Dudley Boyz, Garrison Cade, and Mark Jindrak, and La Resistance in the form of Sylvain Grenier and Rob Conway. A very decent match. It was good to see good tag team wrestling, especially back in the day with the WWE. Finish of the match came with Booker T hitting the scissors kick. I believe it was on Conway, and then RVD followed it up with the 5-star frog splash and the pin. So RVD and Booker T retain the World Tag Team Championships on Monday Night Raw. Next up, it was a grudge match. Now, this was right around the time, that both Chris Jericho and Christian were both having a kind of a love fling. Christian going with Lita and Jericho going with Trish Stratus. Now, at this point, we found out that Jericho and Christian had made a bet with each other of $1 Canadian on who can make the one fall in love with them first. Jericho felt bad about it and was trying to apologize to Trish. Christian took it another step, saying that Trish broke up their friendship, and I do remember they even had an intergender match, I believe, one time, Christian and Trish Stratus. And so let's get on to this matchup here. A very competitive match. At one point, Trish came down and looked like she was worried about Jericho. Christian had dragged her into the ring and shoved her into her corner, and then when Jericho saw that, Jericho threw Christian out the ring. Now, as Jericho goes to check on Trish Stratus, Trish, thinking it's Christian, elbows Jericho right in the face, and Christian comes in and rolls Jericho up and gets the win. Now, after the match is over, Trish is trying to apologize to Jericho, and then all of a sudden, Trish starts slapping Jericho repeatedly. Christian comes in, gives him the unprettier, and thus we get the heel turn. And then the storyline that followed after that with Christian and Trish Stratus. Next up was a 2-on-3 handicap match. It was the Rock and Sock connection in the form of The Rock and Mick Foley taking on Evolution. It was a long-standing rivalry, especially focused around Mick Foley and Randy Orton at that time. And they brought Evolution in on it, brought Ric Flair and Batista in on it, and Mick Foley brought in The Rock. Highly entertaining match. Finish of the match came and looked like Mick Foley was pulled out Mr. Sacco, was going to give the mandible claw to Randy Orton, and out of nowhere, Randy Orton hits the RKO and pins Mick Foley, and what a lot of people call a surprise shocker. So, a very, very good WrestleMania match, and I really don't know what else to tell you about after that, but next up we had a first ever Playboy evening gown match, which featured Sable and Tori Wilson of Friday Night SmackDown taking on Stacy Keibler and Miss Jackie. Honestly, it went from basically an evening gown match to the Divas wrestling in their bra and panties. Why can't we have that today? Sorry about that. I was just reminiscing. I don't know why. But finish of the match came with Miss Jackie getting pinned, and Sable and Tori Wilson winning it. So, but then again, with Sable, Tori Wilson, Stacy Keibler, and Miss Jackie all in their bra and panties, we all won. Sable, not so much. Tori Wilson, yes. Stacy Keibler, legs. Next up, we had the first ever WWE Cruiserweight Championship Open, which probably will be a subject of a future video of why the cruiserweights didn't. WCW was able to make the cruiserweights work. Why couldn't the WWE make the cruiserweights work? But anyway, as Chavo Guerrero was the champion, which means he would come in last, and he started out with. We had we had Jamie Noble, Funaki, Ultimo Dragon, Rey Mysterio, Nunzio, Tajiri, Shannon Moore, and Billy Kidman. Well, let me just go ahead and skip right to the finale. The finale was Rey Mysterio and Chavo Guerrero. Those were the last two. As Rey Mysterio was trying to get the win, Chavo Guerrero Sr., who was there at the time, causes a distraction Rey Mysterio. Chavo Guerrero Jr. Rolls up Rey Mysterio and gets the win, thus stealing the Cruiserweight Championship, and that was basically a big rivalry at the time. Next up, we had an interpromotional matchup, which would at that time see the last of Brock Lesnar, but it was Brock Lesnar taking on Goldberg with Stone Cold Steve Austin as a special guest referee. Never before have I seen such a crowd in Madison Square Garden so adamantly against a match. I mean, I'm guessing internet fans at the time figured out that Lesnar was leaving, and Madison Square fans really didn't care much for Goldberg. The fans were more for Stone Cold Steve Austin more than anything. But it took them a while to get started. The crowd was definitely very anxious and very rowdy for them to start going at it, because it took them a good while to do it. Finish of the match came, of course, in the usual fashion. Goldberg hits the spear, then hits the jackhammer, and gets the 3 count. And as Goldberg was celebrating Stone Cold Steve Austin, Lesnar gets up and starts eyeballing Stone Cold Steve Austin. Lesnar flips off the fans. Pardon me. And then flips off the fans, and then flips off Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is something you just don't do, according to Stone Cold Steve Austin, and which requires Stone Cold to give Lesnar the Stone Cold Stunner, and then he starts celebrating with a beer bath. Goldberg comes back in the ring, starts sharing some beer with Austin, does a cheers moment with them, and then gets stunned for his troubles. And the crowd went nuts for that. Now, for Friday Night SmackDown, their WWE Tag Team Championship was also in a Fatal 4-Way match, which saw the world's greatest tag team in the form of Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, the Basham brothers, Doug and Danny Basham, and the APA, the Acolyte Protection Agency, taking on Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty for the WWE Tag Team Championship. I want to say not as entertaining as the World Tag Team Championship match was. Finish of the match came. Bradshaw had just hit the clothesline from hell, I believe, on one of the Bashams. It looks like he was going to do it on Rikishi. Rikishi gives him a Samoan drop, and then Rikishi just stands on top and lowers the boom, a little short bonsai drop, and gets the pin. In a women's championship versus hair match, Molly Holly put her hair on the line against Victoria, better known today as Tara. And if Molly Holly lost, she would end up getting her head shaved. Well, guess what? Widow's Peak later, Molly Holly is getting her hair cut. The WWE Championship match was on. WWE Championship was on the line as Eddie Guerrero, the late great Eddie Guerrero, took on Kurt Angle. Now, the way this match concluded was with Eddie Guerrero kind of loosening the laces on his boot from when Kurt Angle was working on the ankle lock. Kurt Angle comes back in, puts the ankle lock again. Guerrero then kicks uses his other foot to kind of kick the boot off, which causes Kurt Angle to break the hold. And then on the bounce off, Eddie Guerrero rolls up Kurt Angle, and without the referee seeing, because Eddie Guerrero was lying, cheating, and stealing at the time, had his foot on the bottom rope, which got the pin. Now we had the returning of The Undertaker, which was actually the return of the Dead Man gimmick in this WrestleMania. He returned to take on Kane. Kane, the previous Survivor Series, had buried the American Badass Undertaker when he was doing a Buried Alive match against Vince McMahon. So Undertaker had been given signs of a comeback, and he was coming to get revenge on Kane. And of course, it was the return of the late great Paul Bearer at this WrestleMania. It was basically I want to say about 75-80% match of was the Undertaker. It was just basically Undertaker, coming back. Undertaker taking his revenge on Kane. Undertaker hits the Tombstone Piledriver and gets the win on his brother Kane at the time. Main event for WrestleMania 20, it was the triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship, which saw Shawn Michaels and the late great Chris Benoit, yes, you heard me right, I don't care what anybody else says, taking on the champion Triple H. And this one would landmark Chris Benoit's career, as Chris Benoit came away with the victory and came away with the World Heavyweight Championship, and had the special celebration in the ring, the two best friends, Benoit and Guerrero. Guerrero, WWE Champion, and Benoit, World Heavyweight Champion. This was watching this, man, it just brought back a lot of memories and reminded me of why these guys are so great. And, despite the existential circumstances behind surrounding Chris Benoit, about one of the reasons why WWE will never put him in the Hall of Fame, even though he does deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame for his career. Overall score, watching this back again, it was a 4 out of 5 for me on this WrestleMania 20. A lot of great matches. It was I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a couple of my favorite matches. Of course, Undertaker and Kane, because of the return of the Dead Man gimmick. A lot of people weren't really happy with the American Badass gimmick. It just wasn't really selling to me like it should have, in my opinion. The Eddie Guerrero Kurt Angle match I thought was very great, especially with the way Eddie Guerrero always used to work his match. I miss watching his matches. And the first ever Playboy evening gown match. What else can I say? But the Cruiserweight Championship Open I thought was very entertaining, and possibly a subject on the Cruiserweights might be a subject from one of my future videos right here on WGS-TV. But for right now, I'm going to conclude this WrestleMania 20 review with a 4 out of 5. And I want to say, if I had to pick best match of the night, in my opinion, I'm going to have to go with Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. Just a matter of personal opinion. I have to go with Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. So what I want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on WrestleMania 20. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. And next up in the series will be WrestleMania 21. Be sure you look for that when it comes out. So with that being said, don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestlingGamer and youtube.com/ZepXTV Network. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.
Stoke answers. Stoke answers. Stoke answers. Stoke answers. Spiritual speaking. Stoke answers. Stoke answers. I'm Haley. Ring Rose. Stoke answers.
My name's Andrew Weatherall.
Spiritual speaking. Stoke answers.